There have always been people who believed that nature itself, nature on Earth and nature in the universe, was in a way a representation and a projection of consciousness. So the idea is not, it's just that the world we live in is alive and living in a similar way that we are alive. The piece itself, it sort of maps the expansion of consciousness from what I call a singularity through its expansion throughout the universe, and then it gets localized with the last two movements dealing with our particular situation. It amazed me as a little kid that when my father told me that the moon revolved around the Earth, I had a million questions. I was like, well, what keeps it up there? What do you mean it's just going around the Earth for millions and millions of years? And he said it's been going around the Earth before people even existed. And I was like, how? And I mean, by what mechanism? But then as I got older, I realized it wasn't just the moon. Everything in the universe had this motion and had this order and had this logic. This particular book deals with the sun in relation to the planets and how this whole system is like a holistic entity. I wanted to represent that musically with musical symbols. And again, it's another one of these grand ideas of mine. If you look at my notes for this, that's the surface of the sun, and then you have this, sort of activity and what kind of waves that will move in and all this kind of stuff. So these things are just astrological symbols. And I'm just trying to look at what kind of configurations would have to happen for the greatest activity to occur. And then I was plotting dates and where it occurred and all this kind of stuff. In this case, I'm dealing with a lot of non-musical elements, but I'm dealing with the musical elements too, because the first violin player could care less about Jupiter. So my point is that they are dealing with specifically musical, I mean, what bowing should I use here? What articulation? I mean, how do you want this expressed? That's it. I don't want to know about a black hole. I don't want to know about, the center of mass of the solar system. None of that concerns me. In my case, I just start sketching ideas and then structure the music in such a way that the piece will be sound. What I mean by that is that it will stand and just be technically sound and everything. One great musician said that I think it was Abdul Ibrahim once said that, all we ever do in life is we're looking for verification, for confirmation. That's all we're doing. And the answers are inside of us, and that we're just going around looking for, confirmation of those answers. And to a large extent, I felt like that's what my life has been about. Looking for things that resonated with what was already inside me,